Assalamu alaikum. It's been a while. I thought I should make a video about my process of making a painting from scratch. All right, so first thing I'm doing is priming the board that I'll be using. I like to use recycled materials as much as possible. So this piece of plywood was given to me from a place I buy my plywood from. They were going to throw it out because it was damaged at the back. So I took it and I thought I'll make it into a painting. Paintings are going to be all blues, so the background color doesn't really matter. It's just to seal the wood so the paint sits nicely on it. I'll be using spray paint for the background. All right, the next step, once the primer has dried, I add the background colors. I don't really design too much. I do most of it in my head. So I know I wanted to use blue writing, blue background, and I thought I'll add in bronze this time. So I'm starting with the bronze. I've kind of got it on that diagonal pattern. I'm using spray paint from One Line, which is a shop I get my spray paint and things from in Ivanhoe. Okay, adding in the dark blue. Then on top of that, I'll add some light blue. There we go, adding light blue. And then I'll come back and touch it up. Bronze over the top. There we go, I'm putting bronze over the top of it again. Adding to the effect. My letters eventually, I want to make them look like they are partly behind some of the bronze, some of the blue, so it adds a layer of depth to the artwork. I'm not a traditional Arabic calligrapher. I've got my own style. I'll explain that later on. Here now I'm working on the frame. So again, this is wood I had left over from a job. Rather than throw it out, I tried to recycle it. So now I'm cutting the strips that'll make up the frame. All right, watch your fingers. There we go, use a push stick, that's a safe way to do it. All right, now I'm adding a groove. So you'll see that in a minute. The purpose of the groove is that's where the board will sit, the artwork will sit inside of that groove. So then the frame will wrap around the artwork. This will make a bit more sense later on. There's the groove. Now at my chop saw, I'm going to add miters to it. One of those three pieces will be cut in half. That'll make the top and the bottom of the frame. And the other two longer parts will be the left and right of the frame. It's really difficult to work with one hand and film with one hand. I need a cameraman. If there's anyone who would like to be my cameraman, let me know. All right, cutting the miter. There we go. 45 degrees. All right, now I'm painting the frame. The frame actually gets painted twice. This is the first time I'm painting the frame. There's the sides. I went with this kind of bright blue for the frame, just something different. All right, now the calligraphy. I haven't even started and I've got paint on my hands already. The paint itself you can probably get from Officeworks, something similar. The nib that I'm using is like felt. It goes in a marker, but I don't like to use the marker. I like to just hold the nib in my hand. All right, so again, those nibs, you can get them from One Line. Okay, now the paint has kind of run out. I'll need to put the paint on again, which I'll do in a second. One-handed. Stand it up there in the groove, pour the paint on. You can see on the bronze, the paint didn't really sit too well, but that's all right. All right, so I'm writing Ar-Rahman in my Khat Shakili. Now really I should be holding the board with one hand and writing with the other. Now you can see the board's moving all over the place. There we go. Going over it a second time. That's not ideal, but if the paint doesn't stick properly, I'll go over it twice. All right, that's the top of the Noon. Sorry, top of the Ra. Now I'm doing the Ha. I spin the nib like that, just so the paint that is on that side, I use it. All right, now I had enough of the board moving, so I did the rest off camera. There is the finished calligraphy. Now I'm adding the colors back over the top over some of the letters, just to give a bit of depth. All right, so like I might have mentioned before, and you can tell by looking at my work, I'm not a traditional Arabic calligrapher. Mine is a combination between calligraphy and graffiti. I love to do these type of things large scale. You can have a look at my Instagram to see my work if you like. Later on, I added on some dark blue into the background. All right, now I am putting the frame together. So I'm using this good wood glue, Titebond. This is the original version. The tool you can see there, the green and black one, is my nail gun. So now maybe you can see why I pre-painted the inside of the frame. The outside is still unpainted. I'll get to that later on. Trying not to show my face in the video. Little bit of glue in there. All right, now I assemble the frame around the artwork. I can even, if there's any artists out there, they want blank frames made, I can custom make you a frame. Even if you want the background done, you just want to add the calligraphy, you can message me, I can do all that. Okay, now I thought this angle would be good so you can see, but all you can see is my hand. So I realized that, and I tried to change the angle. This angle is better. One nail there. One nail on this side. I put the nails depending on how much is needed. Sometimes I put two, sometimes I put one. All right, you can see the nail sticking out a little bit. I fix that later on. I hammer it in, make it flush. If it needs, I cover it with putty. Then I sand it. Now I'm repainting the frame. You can see there's some pores in the wood there, like some small holes. To fill those in, I just smudge the paint with my finger off camera. Now I'm painting the outside of the frame, so the piece is almost done. That bit of plywood there is just to stop the spray paint going on the painting. and the piece is done. So I added a coat of polyurethane just for a bit of protection over the artwork. That's why it looks a little bit whitish. All right, that's my process for making a painting. I hope you liked it. Jazakumullah khair.